So it's been a while. Hi. I think our last stream was in January, so good to see you
Has it
guys.
really been that long?
Really has been because we streamed at the end of January and then I was in the car crash that first week of February. So
Mm,
I was out of commission for like 5 weeks and then our lives have just been chaos. So
pure chaos. I think
God.
I think I've said this at least once before, but it feels like I've lived 3 lifetimes.
Yes, yes. Like the feeling that I've aged how many years, I don't know, but like I feel old. And
Yeah.
my body is agreeing with that considering that I creak and crack and do everything else when I stand up. But we're here to talk about Avatar and relive our youth, so it works out fine.
Yeah.
I see we have Rapunzel in the chat. Hello, friend. Good to see you back on here. Welcome to the absolute emotional trauma that is Book 2, Episode 15, The Tales of Ba Sing Se.
I know. What an episode to come back on.
Oh my gosh, I know, right? It's a emotional palate cleanser. You're just gonna get it all out. Laughs, cries, everything. So you're saying we're all old enough that it's totally okay to crush on Iroh now? Yes.
You can speak for yourself on that one, I think.
Oh, 100% yes for me because nice guy has decent money comes from royalty. It ticks a lot of boxes. I'm just saying.
Oh, I mean, you completely missed like the whole like tea thing. Like,
Oh, and the T.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, see, my audio has been blurring too. So if that becomes a distraction to anyone other than me, I apologize. For me, it's just like lag. Okay. How do we want to unravel this episode, Brandy?
I don't know because it's a little all over the place. We could either go in order of like,
Okay.
like first is like Katara and Toph, and then it's Iroh's, and then it's Aang's, and then it's Sokka, and then it's Zuko, and then it's Momo. We could do that.
We could rank it on based on emotional trauma, in
I'd
which
say,
case
or we could, we could start really light, so like Sokka, and then we could go Toph, and then we could go Zuko. Well, actually, Aang, then
Aang.
Zuko.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And then we
Then
start to
it's a
feel
toss up between Momo and Iroh.
oh my gosh. Okay, so I completely forgot that Momo had a story in this cuz every time it comes
Aww.
on, I skip this episode cuz it's just sad.
It is sad.
So, but yes, no, I figure whatever way, maybe the chat can decide. I see we have 3 people watching, so pop it in the chat. Um Otherwise, we can just start like we always do with the episode description if you're
Sure.
ready for that.
Sure. Let's
Yes,
go.
so I logged back into Paramount Plus, by the way, where you can watch this, and I remembered that I set Aang as my avatar, literally. got a
Aang
chuckle
is
out of
mine as well.
65 Katie. Yeah. Oh, I was so tired when it just made me laugh. Anywho, Tales of Ba Sing Se, a series of short stories highlighting different characters and their individual adventures in the city. I mean, yeah, but man, could you get more basic than that?
I mean, the problem is that like I I don't know how else you could really describe it. Cuz mine's
True.
not much different.
Okay.
Mine's not much different. Mm,
Well, what do you have?
I have many adventures of the gang exploring Boston Say on their own.
See, at least you acknowledge the gang. Like the way that they wrote it, it's just like
The
a series
characters
of
is
short stories
the
highlighting
characters
different
is
characters.
yeah, that
Like
does seem a little impersonal.
it could be for any TV show. That's the thing. I'm gonna try to fix.
Oh no, she's
I'm back.
gone. Oh, she's
Yay.
back.
It fixed it a little bit. Let's see. Oh my, we have enough. We have a lot of comments there. Momo is the real hero of the series. Momo is the surprising emotional character in this for
When I
me.
was rewatching this episode, I was like, I like obviously Momo's a character, but for whatever reason, it really hit me like, oh my gosh, like the amount of storytelling that they were able to do with just Momo, and
Mhm.
and like you never really think of Momo and Appa's relationship, or at least I don't.
Yeah.
Perhaps other
Yeah,
people
no.
do, but it's just like I'm like, yeah, like I think a lot of times we think about Appa way more than we do Momo, and so to have like this little
Mhm.
mini where you're just like, oh man, like you're absolutely right. He probably really does miss Appa, and it really is
Mhm.
very dramatic. And like we've been so focused on like the rest of the game that we never even thought about Momo.
No, exactly. Like they're bonded buddies. You can't separate them.
Yeah.
Just man. Let's see, we may need time to recover emotionally. I say start heavy, then work towards the giggles. That one
Okay.
works for me. We were
All
already
right.
talking Momo.
I would say we're already talking about Momo, so maybe we can just finish talking about Momo here.
Oh my gosh, yes. And I had this episode was the easiest to source images from of any episodes that we've talked about. Like high definition, high res, quality screen grabs. So, shout out to Google for also acknowledging this episode.
He's so sad.
Oh my gosh. It just
He's
the emotions. He's not even human and you can see the emotions.
like, I'm sad looking at this.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, and oh my gosh, I think I have a better picture of it here. The the fact that Momo takes the bit of fur and wraps it around his arm.
I know. I
Ah!
know.
Emotional damage. And just to tell you how sad this episode made me, I didn't even pay attention to the weather. Like, and those are some darn good looking clouds that they drew in. But no, I'm focused on this
Wow.
depressed little cinnamon roll. Momo always has something going on in the background. He just gets overlooked so often. It's true. It's nice to see him highlighted in this.
Yeah, and I kind of touched on it, but like I really like how we just see like no other character. Like Aang could have very easily been there in the beginning or something like that, but it's just Momo. We get very little dialogue. I don't even know if a single word is spoken that we can understand. Like everything's
Yeah.
from Momo's perspective.
It's
And
the
so
classic Charlie Brown wah 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 wah.
yeah. And so like I think that that's really interesting, and I think it helps you connect better with Momo. And because I think this is the most time that I've ever been like, again, like, oh my gosh, Momo is a full character. Like, I realize Momo's a character. We love Momo. But for
Yes.
whatever reason, this one hit hard. And I was like, oh
Oh,
no.
yep.
Oh no.
Well, because usually Momo's there kind of for comedic relief, and it started out with him and Sokka as a comedic duo when
Mhm.
we first see him appear in season 1. So to have him become suddenly serious, and even in the funny parts, you can see he still looks kind of just glazed over. Like, someone get this baby a Xanax. He needs something.
I also really love how like so he's running away from those I don't even know what they're called.
They're like panther puma thingies.
Sure, Panther Puma Thingies. um, and somebody just slaps a hat on Momo, and then he's just like, "We're dancing now."
Do, 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 do.
That little song that they dance to used to be my ringtone growing up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I kind of want to look that up now.
uh,
Oh my gosh. Yes. No, and I mean, this could be the Momo show. Just special guest dancers and this man who has no problem abducting animals from the street.
also, are those just straight up monkeys?
I think those are just straight up monkeys.
Man,
Everyone's weird in Ba Sing Se.
I guess.
You need to see Momo looking soaking wet like those little owls. Oh my god.
I didn't know how to feel about those owls. Actually, I didn't know how to feel about them. They didn't do
I
the
saw
cool
that.
thing.
Oh gosh, I saw it while I was at work, and just kind of sitting in the back of the huge studio in the corner where the weather cave is, just laughing. It was much needed. Oh my gosh, yes. The puma meows. I think they're like puma cats or something because they look a little bit more kitty cat like, I
Yeah.
guess.
Also, like
But
they're pretty small. They're almost about the same size as Momo, and
yeah,
Momo fits
Momo's
on her
a V.
shoulder. So,
Oh my gosh, it's just Doppler and radar, which they would easily hunt down Momo. Uh, definitely not a chance with these two. But the story of Momo going back and helping them while they were trying to actively hurt him, it shows that they did a story without words. And you
yeah,
got the plot. Like,
yeah.
that's hard to execute properly.
I know exactly how hard that is because in
Yeah.
one of Charlie's classes, we couldn't have any dialogue,
Oh no.
and so we had to tell a story without any dialogue. And I'm like,
Oh man.
I barely know how to tell a story with dialogue.
Yeah.
so,
Oh my gosh.
so yeah,
Yes.
no, I really appreciate that they're able to do it so well.
And total side note, which is not relevant to anyone who hasn't gone to Valparaiso University, but I did go back for the Great Lakes Meteorology Conference 2 weekends ago now, and his store tag was still up there, and I just kind of went, and walked past, just like, yes, I missed this. Walks away. Oh boy. But for those of you who don't know who Charlie is, well, we can talk about Momo, because you sure know who he is. And he's still sad.
I'd say Momo looks like me when I wake up in the morning.
Oh, I regret this. The alarm's going off. I just want to sit here in peace. Oh gosh.
But the way that this story ends is really interesting because, like, obviously Momo is like curled up in like a little paw print from Appa and stuff like that. And so little, it's gigantic.
So
but this is like the first sign that we've even seen that Appa is possibly in Ba Sing Se.
True. They've just been assuming.
Yeah, they've just been assuming. So, like, to have this be the end of the episode, because this is the end of the episode, you're kind of like, it gives you like this little glimmer of hope. Like, it's a very sad story. It ends on a very sad story because you're just like, wow, Momo really does miss Appa and everything like that. And to see it from Momo's perspective is just like breaks your heart into tiny little pieces. But like there's also just like this little bit of hope because you're like, okay, he is here, or he was here. And if they could figure out, if these three like puma cats or whatever you want to call them know that this is Appa, then the rest of the gang can find Appa too. And so I think that kind of like, it gives you a slight hug, but you're still bawling your eyes out.
This is kind of like, because when this premiered, the next episode is Appa's Lost Days.
Yes.
So it does make sense that they use this as the final one. When I was watching this and I saw Tales of Iroh pop up so early, I just was like, wait a sec, I thought this was the end of the episode. I totally shuffled them around in my head.
I think I thought that it was the second to last for Iroh. I didn't realize that it was the second one because I was like, I'm not ready.
Oh, you know what? We're going to go on a spa day and it's going to be great. Here's Iroh's trauma. Let's go see Sokka.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I was also kind of thinking about like how they stacked it because like with Toph's story, it's not like overly emotional, but it is still very touching because, and I think it does a lot for Toph's character too. Kind of breaks down some of like the walls that we think that she has and stuff like that. And so like it is still very emotional. And then we go immediately into Iroh's, and you're just like, ah. And then is Sokka's the next one?
I believe Sokka's is the next
Sokka is the palate cleanser here. You're like, okay, all right, we'll be all right. And then even Ain's, like, it's not overly emotional. It's very sweet and it's very touching. And like, I think really like captures Aang because he was just like, okay, you know, I'll just go make a zoo.
Honestly, if he didn't have like the avatar duties, I could totally see him as a zookeeper. He would run like the best, most humane zoo in the world.
Yeah.
And it'd be only rescue animals.
Yeah. And then we have Zuko's story, and you're just like, oh, look at our boy.
he's so happy. Like, it's so refreshing. Our little traumatized man.
All right, but let's talk about Iroh, because I think
Yeah,
that's
let's
what
talk
we got
about
to do. Let's talk about Iroh.
Holy cow. Yeah. No, this one, as soon as it started, I just remembered it immediately from childhood.
When I think about this episode, Iroh's is the only one that I actually really think about.
He's just so nice.
Well, and I think what's really interesting is he goes through this entire episode helping people who are just going through as much or more as he is. And he's just being nice. Like, you get blindsided by the end of this because you're just like, this is Iroh being Iroh. And like, you're like, oh, he's so happy and he wants to help everybody that he meets. And it doesn't matter where that person is, he's gonna help them because he's just Iroh. And then you're just like you really don't know what he's doing. You just think, you know, he's enjoying his day. And then he walks up to that tree and you're just like, excuse me? Like, Iroh is going through so much emotionally himself, but he never let that prevent him from helping other people. And so I was just like, oh, when I grow up, I want to be Iroh.
Yes. Well, and it just, you see him, just at the end, you see him, he starts to tear up, he cries, he's reflecting on his son, and then you go back and you think about what he did during the episode, and how the first thing he did was he saw a young child who was crying, and he tried to make him feel better, which he successfully did. And that touches on his want to have been there for his son. And Lieutenant just being like, he's going to be doing the things that he regrets that he didn't do that could have possibly steered his son in the better direction. Like, again, when you have the dude who's mugging him, clearly seen initially as a bad guy. He's got this wavy looking knife and it's just like, money. But Iroh can see he just needs help. And I think
Iroh doesn't even, like, at first he doesn't even recognize, like, I think he recognizes that he needs help, but first he was like, let's work on your stance so that you can mug people better.
Yes.
And then, like, once he does that, then he's like, you know, you don't look like the criminal type. And the guy's like, oh, you know, I'm just going through it. And then, like, they have tea, and, like, the very next thing is him like, so you really think that I could be a good masseuse?
Yes.
And Iroh's like, oh, 100%, buddy.
Yeah.
And, like, I think that it's so sweet because, like, obviously we don't know this character at all, but we do know a little bit about Ba Sing Se and how even the city and the way that it's set up is so against its citizens that you're like, of course this was kind of like the guy's only option. And, like, you don't even blame the guy for what he's doing or anything like that. You're just like, yeah, okay. And then Iroh was just like, you can do it. I believe in you, and we'll probably never meet again. And you're just like,
exactly.
Like, I think I need an Iroh right now.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. No, he needs to be, he wants to help him change. And I think, touching back on the thing before, he wishes he could have helped Lieutenant change. Because he changed. And you see the caring nature that he uses with Zuko being shared with others. And just, man, we need real life Iroh so bad in the world.
I just kind of had this thought. So the episode starts and he's buying, like, a picnic basket, and the merchant is like, you know, oh, if it's a special occasion, you should buy this one. And he's like, eh. And then, like, he helps, like, the little moonflower, pushes in its shade. Then he helps the kid. And then after the kid, he's like walking through the alley, right? And it's like the older kids.
The soccer kids,
Yeah. And he tells them, like, you have to own up to your mistakes and face them and stuff like that. And then the guy comes in and he's like, when I'm done with you, the window's not going to be the only thing broken. And Iroh's like, we should run.
and
then
he books it.
Yeah. And then he immediately like runs into this mugger. And so this is a thought that I've kind of just had. And I'm sure somebody else has made this comparison. But the 3 instances where Iroh helps different people are kind of like the 3 stages that he had with Lu Tin.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
So, like, a little kid, he's helping Lu Tin, work through his emotions and telling him it's okay, comforting him. And then he goes and helps older children, and they're like, hey, you gotta own your mistakes sometimes, and you gotta just, deal with it. And then he was like, maybe not. Like, he was still like, they're young enough, they still need to experience grace. And so, and then he runs into this older guy, and what does he do? He teaches him how to fight and how to like take care of himself. But then at the same time, he goes, fighting isn't the only option. You have other options. And so you're just like, okay, these are like the stages that Iroh helped Lu Tin through, perhaps. And maybe the last thing, Brandi just broke me. and maybe the last thing that Iroh never got to teach Lu Tin is fighting isn't the only option.
And again, Brandi just broke me. That's so sad. Oh my god.
So like you have like this emotional buildup, and then by the end of it, like when you're at the tree and he's, having that memorial and he's singing the song of his brave little soldier boy, and he's like, if only I could help you.
Yes.
You're just like, oh my gosh, like.
Well, and that goes, he acknowledges that he's been helping people all day, and he's like, I just wish I could have helped you. Oh no.
And it's at this point, you're just like, Iroh, who's gonna help you, buddy?
Exactly. It's like, where's the paper bag? I need to hyperventilate. Oh, and then you get the translation, which is just another little dagger to your soul, because it says, to General Iroh, see you after we win the war, your loyal son, Lu Tin. And like, okay, so they were like thrown off of, or what happened? They were thrown in a river, wasn't it? Or like, no, that was their hair that they threw in the river. But they've been chucked into so many different situations. They've been on the run. They've done all this. And he manages to keep his son's note.
Yeah.
Like, that is... so sad. Oh gosh. Okay, well, that being said now, I think the only other thing that's left to really talk about is the end card with his, because this episode was dedicated in memory of Mako, who by the time the episode aired had passed from esophageal cancer. And it was unconfirmed. I couldn't find any other places online that confirmed it, but one person said that he knew that he had terminal cancer when he was recording these last episodes, because he only recorded through the end of the 2nd season. And so that's why when he was singing, that was actual emotion coming from him. And not just acting, which made me sad.
Oh.
So, yes. And if anyone's a fan of Mako, yeah, go check out his other work, because it goes well beyond the Avatar universe. Really good.
It's so good. I love watching different shows and just like seeing him pop up and be like, oh,
Mako!
I know that guy. Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so we got through the worst of the emotional trauma. Who should we break through to now? Take your pick.
I don't know. You want to talk about Zuko? I want to talk
Let's
about
talk
Zuko.
about Zuko.
Okay.
Yes. This man is so caught off guard by the fact that a woman is interested in him.
That's what happens when I kind of catch on to a guy that maybe likes me.
Yeah.
My reaction is, he's in the FBI and he's tailing me.
Yeah.
Like, which is what Zuko's reaction is to this girl.
my gosh. Yes. Well, and if you think about it, how many girlfriends has Zuko had the chance to have? He was exiled when he was so young. Like, odds are he's probably never been on a date before.
No, probably not. I think the most that he's ever really had is probably Azula teasing May that May likes him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah, but no, and just that cheeky smile on Iroh. He's like, oh, this is new. Yes. Please take him out for dinner.
yeah.
Oh,
I think the reason why Iroh is like acting the way that he is Iroh is still trying to almost convince him that like he doesn't really need the Avatar and they don't need to go back to the Fire Nation or anything like that. Like he's trying to be like, you can have a life here if you would just allow it. And so he's like, of course you're going out on this date.
Oh my gosh.
Of course you're gonna do all these things.
Yeah, because I mean, at this point, they don't know that Azula has something planned. They don't know what's happening in the next several episodes.
They don't even know that the Avatar is in Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, exactly. So now Zuko just gets to live a normal-ish life. And it's probably the only time in his life, including after, that it's just a normal Lee.
Yeah.
I wonder if he thinks back on it. Or if he went back and found her after the war was over. Just like, hey, so remember how you wondered how I lit those lamps?
She knew.
Whoosh.
She knew. I think she knew. Like, our girl's smart. She's intelligent. Mm-hmm. I think she was just like, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Like, you're here just the same as me. Clearly you aren't fighting for the Fire Nation if you fled to Ba Sing Se. So what does it matter? Not everyone from the Fire Nation is bad. So, kind of like what Dante Bosco said at the Avatar panel. I said before, too, online, is that not everyone in the Fire Nation is bad. It's just the bad people are the Fire Nation in this episode. Or in this show.
Yeah. So, I think that's kind of a theme that season 2 plays with. Not so much with, like, not everybody in the Fire Nation is bad. They play with not everybody on the other side of the war is good. Mm-hmm. And so, like, we have a lot of people in the Earth Kingdom that either just like want to use Aang to end the war very quickly, or in Ba Sing Se don't even believe in the war and control their people, and sometimes ways that are even worse than what the Fire Nation is doing. And so, like, that theme of, the villains aren't all bad and the good guys aren't all good is something that I think is kind of like woven in to this whole series.
Oh, yeah. And you also get to see the class breakdown, too. Mm-hmm. Like, you have normal, innocent citizens who don't really talk a lot about the war, versus these rulers and leaders who are all war this, war that. So you get to see the difference in daily activities and mindsets throughout the show. And they do it so well, just weaving it into the show, making it feel natural. You can't find many TV shows these days that can do that. Also, how cute is it that he got her a coupon?
Iroh got her the coupon.
Iroh did get her the coupon.
Iroh was like, so this is how you win a woman's heart. You give her coupons.
Yes. Well, and I think, Iroh had Lieutenant as the son, so who was the wife? Did he charm her with a tea coupon? Like, I want to know.
I don't think we could even begin to imagine the ways that man can charm a woman.
Oh man, we saw it at the passport thing to get to Ba Sing Se a little bit, but I want more dating tips from Iroh.
Iroh has moves.
Yes. And we get to see Zuko smile again, which we talked about in what was it, Zuko Alone, I believe it was. It's so seldom that you see him smiling. That in the pirate episode, when he's laughing.
Yeah.
Little pockets of joy for one reason or another. I was already in love with Iroh, but then bam, coupons.
And it was all over.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I knew he was the one.
He gave me a coupon.
He gave me a coupon.
I swear, the day a guy wants to date me will be the day that they give me a ticket to Comic-Con.
There you go.
That's
There
my
you go.
key coupon.
That's how you win Katie's heart.
Yeah, I think. Well, we're 30 minutes into the episode. Anyone who's looking for ways to win my heart actually has to do some work to get to
And
the
that's how
point
you
of
know
finding
that.
the secrets.
That's how you know they'll be a real one.
Exactly, because they'll be watching Order of the Blue Lotus once every 3 months.
Once every 3 months.
Oh
Hey,
man,
you need somebody who's as committed to this as you are.
there you go. Exactly. Oh man. Well, I think the only other thing that I have a question for you on
Mhm.
is, do you think the Dai Li were anywhere in the area and could have seen Zuko lighting the lamps? Because knowing what I know about the Dai Li, I imagine they would be following everyone, and so one of the informants might have seen it.
I don't know. Like that's a very interesting question, and it's one that I don't think that I've ever really thought about too much.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if they did see it,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe this is something that we can come back to as we watch the next couple of episodes, because I really don't like Lao Guy. I really like, but so much happens in that episode. I'm having trouble like remembering it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'm like, I feel like if the Dai Li had seen this, then like they would have shown up to Iroh and Zuko's place. Like I think that would have been, or maybe it's not so much of them like showing up to their place, but we would have like seen a little like POV shot of like him firebending and like somebody looking over like a corner or something. Like there would have been a little moment to like make you uneasy, but this moment I think is about Zuko willing to do something nice for somebody else.
Yeah, true. Which
yeah, and so like
doesn't do really.
Yeah, he doesn't really do that much
to this point.
yeah. I like it's something that he learns, but I think this is really just about like he saw how sad she was that the lights weren't lit up, and so he's like, you know what? I could actually make her happy if I just did this one thing, and it's stupid, but like sometimes, so I hear, boys be stupid, and especially when they're with somebody that they maybe kind of like. And so like him being like, I'm gonna risk it all for this girl that I have been semi-annoyed with all night. Like that's so sweet. Look at our little boy.
Yes, and it's so true, Rapunzel, that we can't firebend. We have to stay hidden. I'm gonna light up this town square. Hope no one's watching. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah. So like I also think that like especially in this part of like bossing say, I think ignorance is bliss. And so the Dai Li are probably like, of course there's no firebenders in here. Like how could they? Like we would have caught him at the gate, you know, stuff like that. So it's just like they're not worried about it.
I like that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it also just dawned on me, how good a sharpshooter is Zuko? Like, that dude hit a lamp from 40 feet away.
I think that this really shows how good of a firebender Zuko is, because he has that finesse. Like he isn't all about rage or coming out and being the strongest or anything like that. Like Iroh kind of instilled in him, going back to like season 1, the basics. And so if he could understand the basics, then you know he could do pretty much anything. And so that's a lot of what we don't see in firebenders. And so I really like that he was able to do it quickly.
Yes.
Hit the targets and just create like these little bursts of flame.
Yeah, just pew, 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 pew.
And
It's
almost
a Nerf dart.
Yeah. With little to no effort. Our guy was just like boom.
And yeah, it makes him smile too. And you mentioned like he didn't like seeing her sad. Zuko knows what it feels like to be sad and so many other emotions. But you find that the people who experience sadness or depression or anything, they don't want anyone else to feel that way because they know how bad it feels.
Yeah.
And like that's why they'll do their best to make other people happy even if they aren't. Like the king example for this is Robin Williams. and how he spent his life trying to make people happy, even though he had unhappiness in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is Zuko learning that by helping others, he can help himself. And it's such a good message. Adorable. Well,
one more thing. I really like the scene where they're eating at the restaurant.
yes.
And it's just, it's so awkward.
See, I got a picture of that, and then I went to pull it up, and then it turned out to be like 180p. I don't think there's a
nice. Ooh, look at that.
Crunchy. Oh god.
I just like it because
she's like, juggle.
Yeah. Well, no, I also just like it because he's sitting there and he's like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. And we don't know how many dates this girl has been on, but she's like, I like you and I want to ask you. She's like doing like the girl thing where you're like, just tell me everything.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Just say any words. Any words.
Yeah. Give me something. I will work with it. And so, no, because I've recently learned like, girls think too much.
Yes.
We think way too much. And so, like, her just like sitting there and like asking him questions and being like, so,
you want to give me any info?
Yeah. Like, where were you before you came to Ba Sing Se? And him just being like, I was part of a traveling circus. Her just being like, that's amazing. I love that about you.
Yeah.
Teach me how to juggle. Like, I don't know. It's just so cute. It's so
She's
precious.
So enthusiastic.
I know. And I'm just like, wow.
It's adorable. And, I do think maybe when he's like, oh, yeah, I was a juggler. Oh, can you juggle for me? And it all crashes down. Maybe some part of her brain is like, okay, he doesn't want to tell me what actually happened. And then when the firebending lit the lamps, she probably was just like, okay, this makes sense.
But like at the same time, like you knew that she was really into it. She was like, I want to learn everything. And then the moment that he was like mysterious, she was like, why do I like you more?
You're drawing me in, man. Oh, it's so true. I hope. I don't know, have they touched on her in the comics?
I don't think so, no.
Because I know someone saw, there was a picture in a freeze frame from Legend of Korra that had a character that looked a lot like her.
You know what? You know what it is? I think there's a theory that she turns out to be like a distant relative of Mako and Bolin. Oh. Like she's the grandma or something.
Well, that'd be nifty. Huh. Well, it makes sense that her down the line would be a firebender if she was into those. So. yeah,
but she wouldn't have married a firebender. Her daughter would have married the firebender.
Oh, true. Maybe she would have been like, I regret not marrying this one, so you should.
Yeah. I think there is like a joke where it's just like people are talking about Lee becoming the Fire Lord or whatever.
Yes.
There's like a joke where it's like Kuzan's the Avatar, and they're like Lee's the Fire Lord, and it comes back to her being like, I went on the date with the Fire Lord.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I need to see a comic strip of that. Oh boy. Well, we've knocked out 3 of them. We got 3 to go. Take your pick. We got the gals, we got Sokka, and we got Aang.
I picked the last one. You can pick.
Oh, okay. Let's go with Sokka.
Okay.
Just to see this goofball. And I will say this episode did more for me than English class in remembering what a haiku is.
I mean, same, but at the same time, did nothing for me. The English language continues to be a conundrum to me.
That elusive English language.
I got nothing.
Oh man. No, it's nice to see, because this episode in particular makes me realize that the gang goes out and does their own thing. We've seen Zuko alone. We've seen Iroh traveling. Momo's Momo. But Sokka's always been with Katara or Aang or stuck in a crack in the ground waiting for death. But this one, he's meandering around town, chucking that boomerang. Just felt like he was being a normal kid.
Yeah, like I think
Are the popo
One thing
coming
that
after you, Brandi?
I'm sorry.
Are the popo coming after you?
Nah, I live right by the interstate. I live right by the interstate, and
As it gets louder, I'm like, Brandi, what did you do?
no. I hear sirens all the time. I didn't even
Oh
notice them.
no.
Uh, but yeah, I think what I was trying to say is, I love that he's like walking in. He walks across. He's looking through the window, and he's just like, "Ooh, poetry." And the only thought that I had was, "You just saw Suki like a week ago.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
He's trying
What
to
are you
fill the
doing?"
void.
No, sir.
Like, now you got yourself a gal.
Yeah,
You got a
yeah.
gal
No.
in Kalamazoo.
No.
Back it up, Ben. Yeah. He's just trying to show off at this point.
I know he is, but at the same time, I'm like, listen here. If Suki was here, you would be dead.
Oh my gosh. Oh, he would be dead, and then all the other women, like, this would be their reaction if Suki walked in. Because he would have been on the floor. Oh gosh. I love this screen capture. I feel like if there's ever an Avatar hot take, I'm just going to put that in the comments. Well, then there's this lady, which the fisheye lens is the one thing I never got with this episode. Like, it felt like they just totally changed up the camera.
That one is kind of strange because, like, it was used in Momo's, but Momo's has like a green tinge to it.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
And
so like the
Momo's
fisheye.
reliever.
No, I know. But like the fisheye is really interesting, but at the same time, like, I think it's to show just how much in his face she was.
True. She's
like exactly. For you to be so close to somebody that like their face starts fish-eyeing, you're like, back up. Back up.
Oh gosh. And I mean, Sokka does a pretty good job being from the Southern Water Tribe. Didn't think they would, teach haiku there, but
I do appreciate it because it's like he walked into a rap battle.
Yes, exactly. This is like the Avatar universe version of a rap battle or like poetry slam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I like it a lot. Like, obviously, I think that it's needed in this episode to like have something extremely light and being like, okay, yeah, I'm still watching Avatar.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of sad when you think about what the other characters kind of went through in this episode. And Sokka, once again, is kind of just boiled down to this comic relief. And obviously, like, Sokka grows, and that's not the only thing that he is, but it's just like, I think I would have appreciated something a little bit more. Like, it could still have that essence, but like, it literally just ends with him being like, poetry.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the bro got chucked out of a poetry session.
Yeah. It's nice to know that guy, there is a fifth element. It's called Sokka bending.
Yes, and he does it well.
He got chucked across the room and like a couple feet out the door. Like,
yes. Oh, I love that part. Like, and a haiku club has a bodyguard. What happened before that made them have to get a bodyguard for their haiku club?
They're in the upper ring.
True. Just protective services, I guess.
I guess.
The possibilities are endless. I would like to see, they have the Avatar The Lost Adventures, which, fun fact, let me find it on here. It's on Amazon. And the reason I bring this up, totally random, is because it's on sale this week. So, if you have wanted to go and, like, buy this book to read the other Avatar tales, the paperback is about $3 off. The hardcover is, like, almost $20 off. So I just ordered that to splurge, and it has some really cute stuff in it from the snippet that I saw on Tinder. So, or not Tinder, Tumblr. I don't even have Tinder.
I was like,
Man,
What?
it shows you how often I go onto Tumblr. Oh boy.
I was like, I think you and I have very different understandings of what Tinder is.
Yeah.
To be
if
honest.
someone put an avatar comic as their Tinder profile picture, I'd take a look. I'd be concerned, but I'd also take a look and be like, okay, why? Also,
No.
I've worked like 8 days straight of a 12-day straight shift week, so I am, day 8, not doing well.
Aw, I'm sorry. That
It's
sucks.
fine.
It's
I
fine.
need socialization, so
She says as she chuckles, "I'm in danger."
I need that on a shirt. I need that danger dog on a shirt. Oh boy. Well, Sokka was a pretty easy one to get through. No emotional damage. If they really wanted to do something, they could have done like he walked in on a mother-son dance event and just been like,
That's the thing. Like, I don't even really know what his like emotional damage story would be.
exactly. I'm like, mommy issues, that's about
So
it.
like it's fine. We're fine, but at the same time, like you just saw Suki. Get over it.
Yeah. Jump in a nice cold Lake Lao guy. Take a shower.
Yeah. Like, whoa, bro.
Well, do you have a choice between the gals or Aang next?
I guess we talk about Toph and Katara.
Yes! Boom. Because the first image that I picked for this, like immediately for the entire discussion of this episode, her hair. Oh my gosh, I can relate to this so well.
That's what waking up with short hair looks like. I can attest to that.
In 4th grade, I chopped off my hair for Locks of Love, which for anyone who isn't familiar with it, you cut off your hair and they make it into wigs, but it has to be like 10 inches long. In order to do that, they had to cut it like above my shoulder, which I don't have normally, and with my curly hair, it turned into an afro so fast. Oh, so fast. Hey! Time Prophet! What's up? I do have both arms, and they can wobble. I am, though, because Brandi and I, we aren't too far apart. This low pressure system that's sitting on top of the Great Lakes right now, I can feel it in my joints.
Oh, no.
It's just not a pleasant sensation.
Are you saying that
covered in dirt?
Are you saying that you're going to soon be able to predict the weather with your shoulder?
Yes. Actually, my viewers have joked. I have some adorable elderly viewers. Like a couple of them will just message me saying, "Oh, I like your dress. Where did you find that? I gotta get it for my granddaughter." And there's one woman who goes, "You forecast better than the men at the station. I think it's because of your shoulder. You can tell what the weather's gonna be." I'm like, thank you. It's a new tool that I've developed in the past few months.
That's amazing.
You gotta laugh. It's so much fun. Time Prophet says, I fell over 6 months ago and still getting pain in my shoulder. Oh no! Remember school in Britain all the time. Yeah, so it's just constant dull ache. Oh, Time Prophet, I'm so sorry.
Remind me to never hurt any of my joints ever.
Don't. It's not worth it. Yeah. I mean, Time Prophet has a coronation and the chaos surrounding that to look forward to, at least. I just have rain, so... Yeah. But anywho, yes, Toph. Starts out the day feeling pretty rough. With you and your short hair, you can definitely relate. Oop. Okay, my phone just went beep, 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 beep. And then... Okay. I thought for a second we were getting nuked. It's fine. I knew it was going to happen eventually.
I was going to say, news to me.
Yeah. Michigan emergency broadcast. Oh, gosh. So, yes, Toph is a rough shape in the morning, and Katara's just like, you know, we need a girl day. I want a friend that'll just say that. Because I do not do girl days.
As to say, sorry, I will never be that friend.
No. We both align more with Toph in this category.
If one time, I think it was for one of my sister's birthdays, we were like, let's go get a manicure. And I've never gotten a manicure in my life. And so I was like, I mean, I'll do it because I love you. And then like our mom was like, you're not going. And I'm like, I don't have to go. And Brianna's like, no, you don't have to go. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I
The relief. The sense
yeah,
of
yeah,
relief.
yeah, 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 yeah. I don't like the weight of nail polish on my fingernails.
No, exactly.
Like
And
it.
when they do the nail polish, they like dig out your cuticles and it hurts.
No.
Why do people choose this? Well, and then you get
No.
like the acrylic nails, or like some people they put the jelly on their nail and then dip it in powder, and like you have to take a sand grinder to get
Listen.
it off. Like I have very tactile responses to certain textures that make me want to vomit. And that's one of them.
Like if that's what you're into, that's great. But just never invite me.
Yeah.
You will have a better time if I'm not there. I promise.
Be the one just chilling in the parking lot playing
I will
Pokemon Go
gladly
or
I will
something.
gladly drive you and then just sit in the car and like listen to music or something. And then you'll come out and I'll be like, have a nice time because I had a great time.
Yes. Sounds like Time Prophet's in the same boat, not using the nail polish. Nail polish is bad enough for us, but imagine how bad that foot scraping is for Toph.
Oh
Like,
my gosh. Like
that'd be like LASIK surgery without numbing. Just
I know that we're yeah, obviously yes, it was bad for top, but can you imagine these poor workers?
Yes.
They're
Oh
just
my gosh.
they're used to working on people in the upper ring who, you know, don't even like step in dirt and then Toph rolls in.
Just
Like
tracks in mud behind her.
yeah, yeah. Like Katara's having a great time. They're like, oh, so easy. And then poor Toph.
Oh
She's just
man.
like, no.
It is nice though to see that even though it starts out rough, which is to be expected storytelling wise, she didn't want to do this in the first place, but she gets into it, makes a little slug / alien face.
Yeah. Well, I think that um I think it's also really nice because Katara obviously is like she's not even annoyed at what Toph's doing. Like she's just like, oh, okay, fine. She's finally like having fun in her own way,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm down for that. And so I just think that that's such a cute little friendship moment for them.
Yes, and like Toph's willing to be girly and have fun with Katara, who has been pretty much alone in the Southern Water Tribe and hasn't had many other people her age to hang
Mhm.
out with and do girly things with, and
Well, that and
it's
it's
sort
just
of
like
healing.
even though Toph has been with the group for like a while, like Toph still is not like the girliest girl. So I
Yeah.
think Katara still a lot of times just like feels like she's the only girl.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yes.
and
You got
so
girl, tomboy, boys.
yeah, 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 like so I think that it's sweet that they're having these like little moments, and I know I just said that I would never go with a friend, but like if it really
Yeah.
meant something to somebody.
Exactly. Plus, like, the mud that they're using, I imagine, if it's like the upper ring, that has to be some exfoliating,
That's got to be some nice mud.
bougie mud. Yeah, exactly. Well, and then they're like, you know what? Let's just take this and make it even better by going to a sauna where both of us can use our bending.
Yeah, by this point, I think Toph was like, all right, we should have just done this.
Yeah. This and I mean her feet do look pretty nice and not muddy. So
Do you think
hey,
that like after they did all the scrubbing of the feet, do you think that like she like saw differently? Like
it's kind of like wiping off your glasses.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's like wiping off your glasses and being like, how in the world have I been operating my entire day with this giant smudge and I'm just now noticing it?
She had
Well,
cataracts, and they're just like, we'll take those off.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Like, do you think she had one of those moments, or do you think that it was like the opposite, and she was like, oh my gosh, like I can't wait to like see
I
again.
I like to think that she totally just is like, oh wow, I can really see better now. Oh, so I definitely take that. Uh, it's so peaceful. This episode, they lull you into a false sense of security.
They really do.
Yeah, they're just happy. Oh, I think I feel pretty. And then the witches of the West, East, and North show up. You're just like, boom.
What I love, my absolute favorite thing is when one of them goes, nice one, Star. Somebody's name is Star.
Star!
Somebody's name is Star.
Names in the Avatar universe. You got Zhao, Zuko, Iroh, Star.
I'm just like, if that isn't a mean girl name, I don't know what is.
Oh, I guarantee you, the person who wrote this episode or someone on the writing crew had a bully when they were younger called Star, and we were just like, yeah, we're working this in. Oh my gosh. That's just... Like, the one on the left seems okay. Like, okay, I'm just here along with my friends. The one in the middle looks like the wannabe ringleader. And then the one with the parasol that's a dead giveaway. She is the prissiest one of the bunch.
I mean...
And yeah, she does have hair like Mickey Mouse.
To be wearing a shawl and have an umbrella at the same time, like...
Mm-hmm. Somebody doesn't want the sun to touch her skin. Oh, man. Yeah, these three... Ugh, I'm so glad that they didn't just walk away. Like, they get you for a second where Toph is just kind of standing there, like, sad for herself. But you know a butt whooping's coming.
Yeah.
You just know.
Yeah.
So, that made me happy as the bullied middle schooler that I was. It's fine. The bullies all failed at life, so it's been quite nice to see. And they're in my viewing area, so they cannot turn on the radio or the television without risking seeing my face. It's
well, there you go.
The best kind of revenge. But yeah, no, it ends on a nice note. You get Toph, who just is like, I know who I am. And Katara's saying, I know it doesn't matter, but you're pretty. It's like...
I mean, I wish I had Toph's confidence sometimes. To just be like, you know what? I'm okay.
Exactly.
Dude, I like me.
Yes. I found that after doing Twitter for a while and TikTok, you just kind of, and calling these people out, it really helps you feel more self-assured that they were in the wrong, because the more people who call them out, the more you see that it's not an okay thing what they did. Because sometimes if you're alone on that hill, you're going to think, well, maybe am I like ugly or something? No. That person's just ugly inside, and it has nothing to say about your beauty outside.
Yeah. Well, that, and I think that so many times, like, you obviously you're never who other people think you are, but they're just projecting their own insecurities.
Yes.
And so, like, that's something that I constantly have to tell myself, and like I struggle with almost on the daily. Like, okay, I'm a pretty cool person, you know. And so I'm just like, it doesn't matter what this person is saying about me, because maybe they're going through something, and so I'm just gonna go back over to my group of friends who think I'm amazing and just like live in that for a moment.
Yes.
And so I think that's what I really love about this interaction of Toph being like, it's cool. It's not affecting me. Like, she's trying to be the strong one. And then Katara's just like, okay, but for what it's worth, you're really pretty. And just be like,
oh. See, Rapunzel is our Katara. She says, I love all y'all cool people. You're the best, Rapunzel. Seriously, the best. You make me laugh more than most people on Twitter ever can. So
you're pretty cool too, Rapunzel.
Heck yes. And Time Prophet, always a lot of detail in the trees. It's true. Like, they do a great job detailing just the background in these episodes. The clouds from Momo's, which does go to show these were taken in different days. These are different. This is like filling the time that they were in Ba Sing Se.
Yeah.
Not necessarily just a filler episode, but a filler episode with purpose.
Yeah. And I also really like how this one ends with, like, Toph being like, well, I'd call you pretty too, but I actually have no idea. Because, like, it's such a joke that I would make when somebody gives me a compliment. I would be like, I'll return the favor or I'll say thank you. But then, like, my gut reaction is to immediately make a joke, because I'm just like, don't, like, I like the compliment, but we're not going to dwell in that.
Yeah.
We're gonna move
Moving
on.
Make y'all a present, post it on Twitter under this episode. Okay, well, I hope I can find it because Twitter is broken on the desktop
Oh, no.
for many people. And I don't know if it will let me. Ooh, I did get it. Okay, it's in a Google Drive. I need access. Request access. Oh, this'll be good. I always love it. Oh, and while we wait for that, is there anything else we want to talk about with Katara and Toph?
Yeah, don't be bullies, guys.
Yeah,
Don't.
be nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy.
Like, the goal of the girls to just walk up and just be like, I don't know you,
Yeah.
but you ugly. Like,
And-
what, excuse me?
They're gonna say that to a blind girl too? Like that is just like layers of wrong.
So yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Be
Don't
kind to
be
people.
Star.
Be kind to people.
Good people and animals. This episode really pushes that because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get Aang in the next one, who just is like, pity for the planet, pity for the animals. Let's make everyone happy. I love it. Let's see, Time Prophet. I didn't get it. Also, I can't give thumbs up to anyone on Twitter at the moment. Grr. Bummer. Should have access now. Yay!
Alright, let's see
if Twitter will let me. Yeah, it's been messy. Download. Your browser is unable to play this audio file.
Oh, it's
The
Momo's monkey dance.
Yes! Downloading. Done. Thank you. Oh, you're amazing, Rapunzel. Oh, that is a perfect thing to go. I'm glad Rapunzel recommended going in reverse depression order. And getting to the happy ones at the end. Because this is a much better way to end a stream with the happiness of no one's dead, everyone's okay, happy new ringtone, perfect stream. Oh man, but yes, if you are ready, shall we embark on Aang's journey?
Let's go.
Woo! So there's very few good screen caps from this, most of them from the episode focused on Momo apparently. But this pretty much tells you all you need to know.
Yep, that's
Aang
it. That's
found
the
a zoo.
episode. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Aang found a zoo. Aang let every single animal out at the exact same time. And then had to fix his mistake.
What I love is that he's looking for Appa is what he's doing. And so he's visiting the zoo and, you know, nobody's there and the animals are all sad and boo-hoo, you know, stuff like that. And then they're just like, you know what? There's like a bunch of land on the outside of the wall. We could just make a zoo. And I'm just like, the land probably has a purpose, A.
Exactly. Like someone A owns it, B has a crop on it, and C,
Yeah.
do you not see the giant wall that will have to be opened every time someone wants to go in or out of
Yeah.
the zoo?
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, the zoo needed to be improved upon. The animals were miserable. I don't think this was the solution.
No way. Pretty sure my cats can hear the bison whistle. Turns out many cats in the Avatar universe can too.
And then also for Aang to just have the overconfidence of like, we can get all these animals at the same time through the city, no problem.
Not an issue at all. I'm sure it won't destroy any businesses or be the last, this 13th reason why for the Cabbage Man. Like,
I do have a question. Is this the last time that we see the Cabbage Man?
this is the last time we see him. He is referenced, I believe.
Oh yeah, with like the Ember Island.
Ember Island, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
otherwise, this is the last time we
Then
see
I
him.
like to think that this Rabaroo was the reason that he decided to get out of the cabbage business and make cars.
Yes, yes. Well,
This is-
I couldn't find the screen grab, but when he's sitting on the stoop of that house with his hand, it's on his head. It was so relatable.
It's kind of like, how many times does the universe have to tell you to stop with these cabbages?
Yes. This is a sign, Cabbage Merchant.
Yes. This is the Cabbage Man is me trying to learn any life lesson.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, Time Prophet says he's probably retired. Yes, well, in Legend of Korra, it is canon that he went on and created a competitor car company automobile company. I'm sure the next Avatar they're going to have, like, Fiats or something. But Cabbage Core
Yeah,
becomes a thing.
it becomes a thing. Our man really soared.
Yes, so much more profitable, and Rabaroos can't eat the cars, so there's a win. Also, okay, if there were any animals from that zoo, the armadillo lion or armadillo tiger, I think it was, and the Rabaroo are the two I would want to see. They look just so cool.
The Rabaroo is pretty cute.
Where'd it go? I think another pixelated one. Yeah, some of them are like literally 300p in definition, but look at that cool animal, one-off use. Totally could have been like a spirit guide, but nah, it's fine. I just want to see more of him. Or her. But yeah, no, you bring up a good point about the land was definitely used for something, and imagine a farmer just sitting in the field, and then they see this. You're like, what are you doing, sir?
Yeah.
Child?
Like, no.
Yeah. This isn't gonna work. Wait a second. And then in less than the span of a minute, you have a whole terraforming project.
Yeah. Here's the next thing. Like, it was mentioned earlier in the episode that, like, you know, he didn't have any money because the Daily stopped giving him money because the children stopped showing up. And I was like, the Daily is giving you money? You're not charging for admission?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.
And also, like, why is, like, the Daily is basically just like the CIA or FBI or whatever.
Yeah.
Why are they supporting local businesses? Shouldn't that be like another branch of the government?
You feel like that should be like the Lee Dai instead of the Dai Lee. Just...
Yeah. Like, I was like, man, the Daily really does have their hand in every single honeypot.
Yes, we control everything. Even the zoo.
Also, there's absolutely nothing stopping anybody the next day, the Daily coming in and being like, yeah, no, and just shutting the business down.
OSHA and the health department come in, they're like, nah.
These are fields, are they not?
Yeah, well, it shows there's clearly a farm field that was destroyed by this.
This is somebody's farm.
Oh boy. Yeah,
Don't get me
he's
wrong.
Gonna have to share the profits.
It's a cute idea. I like it a lot. It's just Aang really came in and just used 12-year-old logic.
Yes, he did. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Such a good episode. And also, a little bonus from this one is this girl. Do you know the story behind her?
Yes, I do.
This was a child who I believe had a Make-A-Wish to go to Avatar Studios and met the creators of the show, and they wrote her into the episode. And she had a hat on, and this is her. Yeah. They gave her the audio roll too. They had her record that line.
It's so cute.
It's so cute, and it's just as wholesome as everything else you'd expect with Avatar.
Exactly.
And she did a good job. Like, that's good voice acting.
What I love is that, and this is completely like a tangent, but the cat's name is Fluffykins.
Yeah.
And so I didn't even realize, this is how like into the show that I am. I don't even recognize when I make a reference to it half the time sometimes. My name for the character in my Skyrim playthrough, it's a Khajiit, which is a cat. It's Sir Fluffykins.
Oh my god. It's in your subconscious.
So I watched it. Like, Sir Fluffykins is like, I had that game file before I went to Valpo. Like, it's that old. It's that old. And I was rewatching this episode and I was like, can I not have an original idea? I was so proud of myself when I named that Skyrim character, and it was just a freaking Avatar reference. I was like, what?
Oh my gosh, that is such a good sign that you're... It's That's like an elite level of Avatar fan right there.
Yeah. So.
Oh man, that is incredible. Now you need a real cat and name him Fluffykins.
Maybe,
So cool.
I don't know.
Because Rapunzel said something. I'm pretty sure my cats can hear the bison whistle. I think it was. There we go. I'm pretty sure my cats can hear the bison whistle. Good job, brain. I have seen. I think we saw at C2E2. People can 3D print the bison whistles, and I have the file for it. But I want to know if I can make it as high pitched as I want and turn them into dog whistles, and just see what kind of animals like walk into the middle of a park and just blow it and see what shows up.
Just see what kind of shenanigans you can get up to.
Exactly. Oh, it'll be amazing. Sir Fluffykins has wares.
Yes, Sir Fluffykins has wares if you have coin.
Oh, amazing. Okay, well, that's it for the episode, unless I missed something.
I don't think
It's very
so.
possible. My brain's at like 60% capacity.
No, I
in
think
that
we're good.
case, shall we switch to the fan theories if there are any?
Sure thing. Do you want to actually pull up one of the pictures of the Mean Girls from Toph?
Yes.
And yeah.
I got you there, and ba-boom. You know, it's been a long time that since we've streamed because they added new buttons to StreamYard. I don't know what they do. I think there's like a custom layout.
That's
thing.
amazing. Okay, alrighty. I believe it is the girl with the umbrella is believed to be the Earth Queen in Legends of Korra.
Oh, I could see that. Oh,
I think it's the one with the umbrella. I don't think it's the one in the middle. And the reason why is because the head dressing is kind of like the same.
Yes. Oh, I'm pulling this up. I'm pulling this up now. Oh, she has the same evil witchy face too. Oh my gosh, dude, yes. I don't know if this makes as much sense to the people who are watching too, but yes. And she has the pink flowers.
Mm-hmm.
The pink flowers immediately given away for... That is her. That ain't even a theory. I am confirming that.
Yep. So that's the easy one.
Wow.
Now we're gonna emotionally destroy you. So double-edged sword here.
Oh, great. Two sides to get hurt on.
Yeah. I'll save the worst for last. So the theory is that Luton didn't necessarily die, but Ko stole his face.
And there it is. Yep. Oh, I saw that while I was looking for the pictures for the episode.
Yeah.
And so, now that makes me sad.
The reason for this is because one of the last... Yep, there it is right there. One of the last faces that Ko shows is this guy right here, and the people are like, that's Lu Tin. I don't personally see it. I guess the nose is kind of the same. Then again, hairlines really do a lot because I'm confused. Like, this guy's bald.
Yeah, exactly. Like, did his hair just like crawl down like a centipede to his chin?
Yeah. So, plus, like, this face that Ko has looks so much older than what I think Lu Tin is or was, but who's to say? And then this is Aaron is one of the writers, and there he is. He tweeted that out. So take that as you will. I don't 100% believe it because And another thing that helps with this theory is that Zhao says that Iroh once ventured into the spirit world in that episode. And it's like a line that just like got thrown out there and never really came back. And so the idea is Ko steals Lu Tin's face, Iroh goes to the spirit world to try and get Lu Tin back, goes on this journey, realizes he can't save him, yada, comes back a changed man. But I just...
I'm not sure how I feel about that. Because personally, I would rather see Liu Ten have been a casualty of war that caused Iroh to realize this is not right. There are children who are everyone's
Yeah,
child.
exactly.
So,
Like, I think that Liu Tin dying, not only in the war, but like obviously he dies in Ba Sing Se under his own father's command. Like, I think that has more weight to it in
yes.
Liu Tin's death, and that's like the catalyst for Iroh making the change that he does, because
Mm-hmm.
like again, I kind of think that Iroh, like, yeah, like he's when he was a general, he probably wasn't the worst guy.
Yeah.
Like I think that
He's still Iroh.
he took the war as a sign of like, this is an honorable thing to do, and I'm,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the Fire Nation is so great. Like, he really bought into that propaganda that the Fire Nation does,
Mm-hmm.
and we're doing this war so that we can help others succeed and stuff like that. And obviously don't really think so, but
Yeah.
like, I think that's where Iroh was, and like the moment that he loses somebody so important to him, that really is like, I shouldn't have needed to sacrifice my own son's life so that we could show the world how great the Fire Nation is.
Yes.
And so it's like that moment right there. And so then the theory is like, okay, if Iroh did go into the spirit world, maybe the theory is that he thought that if he went into the spirit world, he could find Liu Tin's soul or whatever and bring him back and stuff like that. So I don't know. Like, I think the Ko idea is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that we could see more of Ko because I like him for whatever reason. You know me. So yeah, like, I would have loved to had seen more of that, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't really like that.
I prefer the idea that he was killed while fighting for like taking over Ba Sing Se and stuff, because then that adds a little bit of an Easter egg, a wholesome Easter egg to me, in that in this moment that you see that he's holding a fire or a earth-bending soldier, Earth Nation soldier in his hand, and Iroh's still being kind to him. And like, in my head canon, Iroh has accepted and forgiven the Earth Kingdom for what happened to his son, and realized that it was no one's fault. It happened because of this war. And if you do the whole Ko thing, it's like, my headcanon goes away, which makes me sad, but also just like,
Yeah.
Coals. I love that. I think we'll get more Coals in the extended Avatar universe. Yes, and they'll have all the genes 50% off. No, I really do want Ko coming back.
Yeah, and I think also, like, I think in this episode kind of debunks the whole Ko idea, because Iroh goes, if only I could have helped you. Like, obviously, yeah, like, if Ko stole his face, then Iroh couldn't help him to get it back or whatever. Like, he couldn't kill Ko to get Liu Tin back. But I take that if only I could have helped you be more in the sense of like, if only I had been the kind of person that I am now and understand all these things about life and what it is to be a good person, you would still be alive. But because I was who I was back then and believed in this terrible idea of what the war is, I lost you and I couldn't help you. And it's just like, oh.
Yep. Do you think Iroh joined the White Lotus after that happened?
I really do think so. Like, I think that his whole journey is like, him leaving Ba Sing Se and making that journey back to the Fire Nation is him like going into the spirit world for a bit, him learning something, and then coming out and meeting somebody from the White Lotus, and like, seeing that there were other prominent Fire Nation people who were in the White Lotus and were like, this isn't right, and we're trying to do what we can, but obviously, like, we can't stop it at this point. So yeah, I definitely think that he was there, and like, that's how he kind of turned into Iroh.
Mm-hmm. And Rapunzel says it too. Oh, old age reflection is tough, and then young whippersnappers don't want to listen to your wisdom anyway. It's true. When you get older, you look back and you see how things were and how things are, and you realize that what was said to be right might have been wrong, and vice versa.
Yeah. I think what's terrifying, and obviously, like, I'm not old by any means. Like, I don't think I'll ever feel
You're
old,
an
but it's just
old
like,
soul.
I know. But it's just like, I remember thinking back when I was in college, because I am such an old soul, and like all my peers are like, "Oh my gosh, Brandi has it figured out," and I kind of like bought into that. Like, of course I know, of course I know. And then like here I am, like a handful of years out of college, and me being like, I was an idiot. And so
Yeah.
like the thought of like in 5 years,
Mhm.
I'm gonna think back of like where I am right
Yes.
now and be like, I was an
Oh,
idiot.
boy.
Like,
Oh, the painful acknowledgement that will probably happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like to be that self-aware is what I'm dealing with, guys.
Yeah. I profit. I have socks older than you.
Yeah. No. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not old at all. I still got a lot of mistakes to
Prime of
make.
your life.
But it's just like, wow. Like if I'm able now to look back at that and be like, I was just a kid. I'm still a kid.
Yeah.
That's terrifying to me.
Just
But
a kid
anyways,
and life is a nightmare.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Final theory.
Yes.
Still dealing with Luton.
Oh gosh.
Ozai assassinated him.
What?
Ozai assassinated him. The theory is that Ozai very clearly wanted to be the Fire Lord.
Uh-huh.
And so he has Lu Tin assassinated to end Iroh's line, also knowing that Iroh loves his son very dearly and it will emotionally destroy his brother. And that allows him to come in and be the Fire Lord, because in
Oh.
in Zuko alone, where we're seeing the story of like how Ozai, becomes the Fire Lord out of birth order. They get, hold on, I gotta close this out. Somebody's messaging me on Facebook, and it's just boy, and I'm like, go away.
So assassination.
Yeah. So anyway, so they get word that Luton is gone, and that Iroh has surrendered, and Bossing says no, the war efforts are just like gone. I'm coming back. Ozai immediately is just like, make me Fire Lord.
Yeah,
like,
that's
and
pretty swift action there.
yeah. So like his actions were so swift and so decisive and overly calculated that it's like Ozai orchestrated this whole thing of Lu Tin being killed while out, during the Battle of Ba Sing Se, and like that. If you think about it, that messes you up a little bit.
That is so messed up. Oh, I like that, but I also I like that it is a theory, but as a thing that could have happened to a character that I may or may not have liked. That's brutal.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah, Rapunzel. Oh my gosh. Responding, by the way, to Time Prophet. That is 26 or 20 years older. Oh gosh. Honestly, I wouldn't put it past him. Ozai is straight evil. Yeah. Very true. And Time Prophet says, I didn't know you were wearing headphones. I just thought you were doing a Princess Leia cosplay. You could get some Princess Leia headphones going. Now these are my I was telling Brandi earlier, they're like my $20 Amazon headphones that have 20 hours worth of charge and actually work. So they no longer sell them, so that makes me think they might explode and like be a risk, but they were cheap and I like them. Yeah, that Ozai one accepted reluctantly.
I still like don't 100% like it, because again, it takes the blame of Lu Tin's death off of Iroh.
Perhaps though.
And like obviously like Iroh shouldn't blame himself for his son's death, but if you start giving out all these different explanations besides just him dying in battle,
Yeah.
I think it kind of takes away some of that
Yeah.
emotional charge that Iroh has about it away.
Definitely.
And it would almost be a way for him to be like, it's not my fault, it's Ozai's fault, or it's not my
Yeah.
fault, it's the spirit's fault.
Yeah.
And I think once
Exactly.
you take that away from Iroh's character, you lose something very special. And so that's why I'm like, these are thought-provoking theories,
Yeah.
but I don't think I'll ever if one of these comes out to be true, I may be a little upset.
What if Ozai had ordered, so this is just totally making up a theory on the spot, but like what if Ozai had like ordered a secret contingent of the army that was under Liu Ten to like assassinate him or something and make it look like the Earth Kingdom had done it, but instead they were in a battle situation and one of the Fire Nation soldiers saw an Earthbender sneaking up behind him and getting ready to kill him, and instead of helping him he just did nothing and let the Earth Kingdom soldier assassinate or kill him. So therefore he still dies in battle, but there was an assassination attempt and it played a role in his death. It was really convoluted. I don't know if that made any sense.
I don't know. I think also like for Ozai to get word that Luton's dead and then immediately like formulate a plan for how he could get like the throne just like goes to show how cunning he is. Like
Yeah.
to come up with a plan to like get the throne is one thing, but to have an opportunity almost come to him and being like, I could work with this is almost more diabolical to me.
Yeah, that's true. He doesn't have that single instance of, oh, I'm so sorry. It's just immediately, I can make this work for me. Oh yeah. Also, Rapunzel, very nicely done. Getting away. What you need to read to explore the guilt and PTSD as a result of losing people under your command, Wheel of Time. I do need to get into that. I have so many random fandoms that I need to look into beyond the ones that I'm already in. I'm currently rewatching Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and that is enough emotion for me. Luis Xro says, I think he'd have scenarios worked out for them dying just because. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like if the
he
shine
has
on me.
no he has a giant flow chart in one of the rooms. If this happens, go to
Yeah. Flip to page 28. Eaten by an alligator. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yep. Had to work in at least one relevant reference to Wheel of Time. Obsessed and wants everyone else to be obsessed too. Yeah. Okay, so side tangent, because we haven't had enough of those in this episode. Brandi and I, we went to C2E2 Comic-Con together back end of March.
It was beginning of March. Or
it was like March 31st, April 1st, and April 2nd, I think?
No, it was the beginning of April. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a couple of weeks ago.
When like the 6th largest tornado outbreak in United States history occurred. We were just a little too far outside to go and see it. But we went outside, or we went to C2E2, and there was just so many amazing things. And I got back and I was talking with my morning anchors about it. And one of them just goes, you know what would be great to do at Comic-Con, I think? And I'm like, what? And he goes, probably drugs. Imagine how trippy that would be. And I'm just like, no, that's not, no. And now he's kind of like, whenever I talk about Comic-Con, he gets more and more interested. I'm like, okay, it had a weird start, but I'm going to get you hooked on this. It's going to become an obsession.
Oh, are we talking about Comic-Con or drugs?
Comic-Con! Comic-Con, because you can get hooked on those.
I know.
And for any of us, I am going to be going to Motor City Comic-Con because Jason Isaacs is going to be there. And okay, I have time. I'm going to go and grab the turtle ducks. Brandi, do a Momo dance while I'm away.
I don't have a dance. I have my own turtle duck that I can show you guys right here. It's tiny. My sister made it. That's all I have.
It's adorable though. There we go. Okay, so Brandi and I got.
Oh no.
Gosh. Okay, we're gonna turn off the green screen so we can see the full glory of this. Whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. No. Stop it. There we go. Okay, so here are the turtle ducks. They're cute on their own, but look at this. We got two Katie, Yip Yip, Zachary, Tyler, right? Yes, that's his name. Then you have Katie, Water Tribe, Sokka. And then up top you have Honor, Zuko. And it was great to get to meet the cast and all that, but now I want more. So we're going to go and get Jason Isaac's autograph for the Turtle Ducks, and I'm just going to keep getting every cast member that I can. It's going to be great. And I did find a gold frame.
Nice. I still have to get a frame for mine.
Oh, I have an extra gold frame if you want it.
I'll find it eventually. Yeah. It's just, I have so much art that I need to get on like my walls, but I'm like, I gotta get these frames. And now I have a bunch of frames for some of the artwork that I've been trying to hang up, and they're just like in boxes, and I'm like, one of these days.
Yeah.
Today's still not that day.
Oh man. Well, let's see. We got all the cute Weedle Turtle Duck. Yes. And then, wait, what am I missing? The time part of the series was watchable part to ROP, but it's pretty terrible as an adaptation. I need to go back through and read all this. But cute painting. Lose 3 gold stars for not ironing your green screen. LOL.
It does pretty good for how many wrinkles are in it.
True. Well, the way that I have it is I have a PVC like pipe thing, and then I just slide it around. So it gets crinkled most of the time. It's just not worth trying. Never could listen either until Wheel of Time. Ooh, interesting. Audiobooks. I need to read more audiobooks.
You don't read audiobooks. You listen to them.
Well, yeah. I need to listen to more audiobooks. No, I have my commute is long enough. I could just become a very, very well-rounded person. But no. I just choose to sit and listen to Avatar episodes. Not even watch. Like, I will put on an episode of a TV show that I've seen over and over and over again, so much so that I know what's happening on screen. So I just get the audio pipe through my car, and I'm just driving because I know what happens.
I love that. Yeah, I just listen to random podcasts. That's what I listen to. Yeah.
You like audiobooks because I can listen faster than I read. I feel that. I totally feel that. One of my favorite audiobooks from when I was a kid was Charlotte's Web, because the author of the book actually read it. And the beginning of it says, I wrote this book for children and to amuse myself. And I've taken that with me through life. Just, I did this for children and to amuse myself. Which is basically my TikToks.
I was gonna say, I think that's like a core pillar of your personality, Katie. Like,
it really is.
We've really discovered something here.
We just listen to this Charlotte's Web audiobook every time we would go north. Whether listening or listening is reading, either way, I'm just happy that people are learning more about things. Oh boy. Well, was that the teacher says listening to audiobooks is a form of reading. Oh, that's a good question. We could have a philosophical debate on it, or we could look at fan art, because I actually own one of the pieces of fan art that I'm about to show you guys, other than the turtle duck, and it's this piece, because I found this at C2E2 the year before we went, Brandi, and I was walking past the booth. And there's this man who was just standing there, kind of like, you have con husbands who, like, their wives are the artists and they're the ones who, like, man the booth when she goes to get food. And you just see me and, like, 2 other people we walk past and we just go, oh, no. And he goes, the Avatar one? Yeah, the Avatar one.
He knew. He knew.
My wife painted this and everyone says the same thing. It was just so funny, but no, she's this watercolor artist. Her name is Allie, and she just, the detail she can get. It's just Lieutenant with his hand on his father's shoulder, and Zuko standing there paying his respect, and just,
I don't think I'm making this up, but I very well could be. Have you seen I think it's a fan art of Zuko going to this tree when Iroh passes away?
Yes, yes, I have seen
That
that one.
that one
I don't feel okay about it. That's why
I
I
don't
could
feel
have pulled it. I saw it again while I was pulling fan art for this, and I made the conscious choice not to
Well, I'm
grab
sorry.
it.
I didn't mean to bring that up. I'm sorry.
No, it's
That's on
okay.
me.
no, no, it's true. It's so good. I should have grabbed it. I was like, we're already traumatizing everyone enough, and trust me, there's more to these fan arts. Also, I think they're having a fight in the.
They're still talking about if listening to a book is reading or not.
Either way, you get the knowledge, so everyone wins. Zuko and his brutal artist needs to be arrested. Oh my gosh, yeah, I bought it. I didn't even ask him how much it was, which turns out was like $20, which for a full-size wall art print, like the turtlenecks, that's pretty darn good. Let's see, what other trauma can we do? Let's go to this one.
I
there's
feel
a lot
like
to
that.
pick from.
I feel like them going, "What other trauma can we do?" is something that the writers actively said.
Yeah.
Like every time that
They had it on a
they-
sticky note on the
Yeah,
door
yeah.
to walk into the room. Oh man, this one made me sad. Just because Ghost, he looks so like, don't blame yourself, father. Like, it's okay. And I think Iroh needed to hear that.
yeah.
Yet he can't, because he's a Force ghost. Speaking of Force ghosts, we have another one where Zuko actually joins Iroh at the tree. And you can kind of see the spirit of the sun running past. And then there's this one after Zuko becomes Fire Lord, and he goes back, and they both.
Now this one's just sweet.
This one's
This
like
one's
a piece.
yeah. Like this one, I think in this moment they're like, "We did it. We're okay."
It's more of a celebration that the war that killed him is over.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think you put it best. Like it's peaceful.
It's serene and calm, and it doesn't make me want to sob, like this one.
Oh gosh, you may need to stop.
This is the last one, I promise.
Okay, I'm like, I don't know. Okay, now this one I love. This one actually used to be my desktop background.
Really?
Yes, I absolutely love this one. And if I ever find a print of it, I will buy 20 of them. They are, man.
It just they look so happy together, and that makes me so sad knowing what happened, but also
I know.
This is the perfect one to finish things up on, I think.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is the exact spot that he died? Like, why this tree?
That's a good point. Maybe when he was a child, they would have picnics under a tree that was similar up on a hilltop in the Fire Nation.
Okay.
And he walked past it on one of his walks and was just like, oh my gosh, that's perfect.
Do you think that this tree, because it seems so out of place in Ba Sing Se.
Completely, yeah.
Do you think that it's like holds more of a meaning? Like, is it a portal to the spirit world? Is there more than one of those?
Maybe it's like a spiritually enhanced place?
Yeah, is it kind of like the oasis in the Northern Water Tribe? It's not the oasis, like, whatever it's called.
The
like the pond.
Yeah, like the little pond portal. I don't know. I feel like the swamp would be a little bit closer tied to the spirituality.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like,
but
this is so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nice.
I like the tree. I like the tree a lot. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it can just be a tree. I will be happy with that. But these are the thoughts I often wonder.
Yeah. There's so many different little threads that we could be like asking the creators questions for. I think we should send a message, like an email or something, if they still use email at Nickelodeon, and be like, hey, you want to show up on our podcast? We have an amazing 5 viewers who are really loyal, and we have
So
questions.
loyal.
They're incredible, and also can definitely fight. But yes, that wraps it up for the fan art for me. Yeah, and I'm moving in slow motion now, apparently. Hold on. I'm back! Gotta fix it. Just unplug and plug it back in. But is there anything else that we missed?
I don't think so. If you thought this week was hard.
Oh! I like to think the reason we took a 3-month hiatus was because we didn't want to have to.
We emotionally had to make ourselves strong enough.
Yes. Oh man, yeah. Appa's Lost Days. I think I've seen that episode once. I don't think I've ever rewatched it. Just because as a kid I didn't.
I mean, I rewatch it when I do like a whole series rewatch. I don't ever just like, you know what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna watch this one. It's good, but it's not my favorite episode.
Yeah. It's just too much for me. If I'm watching a TV show, I don't want to be like stabbed through the heart. Don't let Katie near a car before the next episode. True. Yes, then we might have a farther hiatus. We could message Janet and just be like, hey, can you help us out?
I know, but like I feel like if we're gonna message her, we have to like really. We're not gonna waste it on the tree.
Yeah.
We're gonna find something else.
Yeah. We have one question for you.
The tree is me trying to find a thread to pull on that's not actually there, guys. Like, forget about the tree.
If we could like corner the writers for an hour, we could do an amazing.
I would need probably a 3-day weekend, but you know that's cute that you think we could do it in an hour.
Speed run.
That's cute that you think that we can speed run.
Yeah. Details and speed run don't really go together, do they?
I'm just saying we would get so distracted.
Oh, completely. So completely. Well, I think that just about does it. And my brain tells me it's about time to just go. So, Brandi, thank you so much for being here and for just making this a fun one. This has been a fun one. I was worried I would like cry. I have tissues next to me. So it's my emotions don't have any kind of sense to them.
That's cute. You think I have emotions?
No, Kirk and Spock, man. No, I was driving through last Friday because I had to stay and cover our noon shift. And I was driving through East Lansing, and there was this possum, and I love possums. I love them to death. And this one quite literally because it was run over by a car. And it's most times when animals are like hit, they're like flipped over, like turning in any other direction. No, this one, its eyes were staring into the souls of every driver that saw it. And I like almost started to cry. I felt so bad. I said a little prayer for it. So like, if that gives you an idea of the emotions I had going into this episode, that should give you it.
Well, you did good, champ.
Yes, well, thank you. I mean, the people in the comments section did a great job. Rapunzel, invite them on a weekend's writer's retreat to the woods. No phones, only questions, lots of questions. Yes, I'm sure, hey, do you want to go into the woods with us for 3 days with no phones? Would be a very tantalizing offer.
I mean,
Got
I
nothing
don't
else
see
to
a
do?
problem with it. Like, that seems like a very reasonable invite.
Oh, I love it. Well, Rapunzel, Time Prophet, Louise X Sparrow, and any anonymous viewers who didn't chat. Thank you all for joining, and we'll see you, I would like to say next week.
Don't say next week because it
But
just...
I don't trust it. Yeah.
Don't say it. We'll just...
We'll pop back up at some point.
We'll just see you later.
That's gonna be how we end every show now. Just see you later. All right, guys. Good night. Or morning. If you're watching this on a replay, good whenever. Bye.